Hey everybody, so around half a year ago I made a video investigating the mysterious origins of a man named Bruno Powroznik, the creator of a popular internet video. In it, I talked about his strange fascination with the housing market and the bizarre string of videos he uploaded before suddenly and unexpectedly going completely silent. My main purpose was to try shedding some light on a mysterious individual who had a seemingly large presence on the web before vanishing completely, an interesting phenomenon in and of itself. This video was unexpectedly very popular, and in that time a decent amount of new information has resurfaced, causing a number of people to request that I return to the topic. And today, that is exactly what I will be doing. Covering what little more has been unburied regarding the history of a fascinating individual. This is Bruno Powroznik Revisited. Now, before I get into this, there are a few things to be said. For one, I am aware that Bruno's last name is Polish and is most likely pronounced Powroznik. However, in this video I'll be using Powroznik as it's what he's most commonly known by. Secondly, I would like to offer serious thanks to a few people who've helped a lot with the research for this video. Free Bruno Powroznik and Stunley Andwin on YouTube have offered some very useful first-hand information, while Silly Conclusion Zero and the rest of the Bruno Powroznik subreddit have compiled a large amount of important information as well. I'll be bringing up many of these findings in the video, and it wouldn't have been possible without them. And lastly, I would like to stress that Bruno should not be pursued or harassed. There have been several instances of doxing against him, and this does nothing but cause trouble. Please respect his privacy and don't try to dig up personal information. With that out of the way, let's get right into it. A good amount of general information and theories have come up in the past few months. It is now known that Bruno actually went by a number of pseudonyms during his time online, making it harder to identify what was and wasn't his doing. This complicates things somewhat, even lending credibility to the idea that there may be undiscovered activity by Bruno using one of his alternate accounts. However, nothing is known for sure. Stunley Andwin has stated that while most house price crash users were aware of Bruno's existence, most ignored him or regarded him as an annoyance. Some minor mysteries and misconceptions have been cleared up as well. Of the 3 channels I mentioned in the video, 2 have been confirmed not to be Bruno. David E. returned to his account in early 2020 and, as expected, reacted only with confusion and surprise that the video had found such popularity. Free Bruno Powroznik commented on my original video and was able to answer a few questions to clear things up. After affirming that he was indeed not Bruno Powroznik, he went on to state that the Free Bruno Powroznik song, along with the other remixes on the channel, were created by him, based on Bruno's activities and videos, but holding no actual affiliation with him. This leaves only the channel Sell to Rent, which, unlike the other 2 listed here, has not resurfaced and remains ambiguous. However, Stunley Andwin has stated that the account was run by a house price crash forum user. The rumor that Bruno was mentioned in the Daily Telegraph has been confirmed as well, as can be seen in this article on the housing market from October 2nd, 2004. Why Bruno was mentioned among legitimate financial experts is unknown, although it was likely nothing more than an accident. Quite possibly the largest source of concern with Bruno was his supposed arrest after threatening to attend a meeting of House Price Crash members with a rifle. Bruno even created a video entitled Massacre at the Price Crash Pub Meeting, in which he described the event. It was posited that after posting the video, Bruno attempted to carry out his threat and was arrested before having the video taken down. However, a number of sources have debunked this. No record exists of the arrest, and Free Bruno Powroznik states that it was very unlikely Bruno was actually arrested. The massacre video was actually released some years after he made the threat and was not involved in the event. It is believed that Bruno may have received a visit from the police and possibly had his channel taken down. However, this cannot be confirmed and could just be chalked up to Bruno's erratic behaviors. On the subject of Bruno's behaviors, some general profiling has been done to give a general idea of the man Bruno was. A large portion of the online community at the time of Bruno's activity, and a large portion of it now, believe that Bruno was at least somewhat mentally unstable. He was also believed to have suffered paranoid delusions, posting rants on house price crash typical of those with delusions of persecution. Bruno's statements on forums and in his videos were generally long-winded and riddled with his strange central dogma pertaining to the nature of the housing market. According to Free Bruno Powroznik, Bruno was willing to chat with others, but he was prone to, quote, dropping a hand grenade into the conversation, usually in the form of his large and often incendiary declarations of his opinions. For this very reason, Bruno was widely disliked and ridiculed on the forums he frequented, often being banned from them before returning under a new name. While his activities on the house price crash forums are well known, Bruno was apparently also active on the housing market-based Singing Pig and Credit Crunch forums, although his activities there have since been wiped from the platforms, by intent or by the winds of time. As for the man Bruno really was, little is still known. The most interesting revelation comes in the form of a strange post made by Bruno on the Spanish Property Insight forum. In it, he makes many claims ranging from innocuous to bizarre, that he used to be an IT consultant in 2001, that he lived an incredibly frugal lifestyle, and that he subsisted entirely off of canned pineapple and sausage, among other things. Of course, like everything said by Bruno, this cannot be confirmed. On an interesting note, it is entirely likely that Bruno is aware of his resurgence in popularity and is actively trying to avoid it. During a doxing, a user identified what is thought to be Bruno's house on Google Street View, and it was blurred out, something a resident can request from Google if they want to maintain their privacy. This, along with the conspicuous absence of digital footprints left behind by Bruno from the time of his activity, has given rise to the convincing theory that Bruno has intentionally erased much of his online presence out of a desire to remain private. Whether or not this is actually the case, Bruno's privacy should be respected. And with that, we arrive at the end of what is currently known and the edge of what may be known in the days and years to come. While they have declined in activity, the Bruno Powroznik subreddit and Discord server remain persistent in their efforts to decode the enigmatic, decade-old ramblings of a possibly unhinged, but certainly strange individual. Through the efforts of Stunley Andwin and the Bruno Powroznik subreddit, 86 of Bruno's videos have been recovered and archived, including several in which full videos of Bruno can be seen. Videos are added to the archive as they are found. Many consist of the standard Bruno Powroznik package, long-winded and very loud rants about STRs in the housing market, while a few others are more in the vein of Bruno's most famous video. Either way, they can now be accessed freely. This is the extent of the knowledge that exists chronicling this surreptitious man, gathered by thousands of individuals over a number of months. Whether we are any closer to solving the mystery is anyone's guess. What solving the mystery even entails is equally elusive. Still, the moral to take away from this, if any, is that in our modern age, whether through intent or entropy, anything and everything can slip suddenly into obscurity. But it does good to remember that things will always leave traces behind, and all you need to do is keep your mind ready and your eyes open. Thanks for watching.